All right. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. I hope everyone is doing well. This is our office hours session where we talk about everything related to the upcoming NMSP compliance score deadline. I know this is a very busy time for all of us, right? We're all focused on getting our 2026 dues billing approved and sent out to our members, as well as trying to meet a compliance deadline within the next few weeks. And so today we are going to be focused on the final NMSP compliance score deadline for 2025. And what that means is all associations must have a 97% or higher NMSP score by the deadline. This year, we actually have two potential deadlines, November 21st and December 1st. We are pushing for all associations to be compliant by Friday, November 21st, so that everyone can just, enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday without the pressure of coming back from the holiday to meet a deadline on Monday, December 1st. However, if all of the associations are not compliant on Friday, November 21st, then the December 1st deadline will remain in effect. And so we will keep everyone posted on where the associations stand with meeting the November 21st deadline. And so you'll receive a communication the week of the deadline. And then we'll send out another communication a day before the deadline to let you know if all associations will be compliant. And so as of today, we are approximately 16 days away from the November 21st deadline. And just to give you some stats with regard to the compliance deadline, we have 30 associations that are currently out of compliance, meaning their NMSP score is below 97%. We also have 27 associations that will be out of compliance within the next 15 days or less because they have one or two NMSPs in their 15-day grace period that will be delinquent on or before the deadline. Now, I believe the associations that are currently out of compliance can meet the November deadline because they don't have a ton of NMSPs to focus on. So again, we have 16 days for all of us to meet this deadline. And the good news is Sandra and I are here to assist you with meeting this objective. And so leading up to every compliance checkpoint, we send out two preliminary compliance letters to the AE and the board president. The first communication is scheduled to go out to the AEs on Monday, November 10th, and this communication will include your compliance score as of November 10th. The second communication is scheduled to go out to your board president on Friday, November 14th, and it will only contain the count of your delinquent NMSPs and not your NMSP score. We also let the board presidents know that the associations still have time to meet the compliance objective. And so the goal is really to help prevent your association presidents from stressing out and stressing you out, right? So the verbiage in their communication will always be toned down. So, what key priorities should local associations be focused on leading up to the deadline? Local associations right now should be focused on your delinquent NMSP records and your NMSPs in the grace period that will be delinquent within the next 15 to 16 days. So, leading up to each compliance deadline, we've noticed that some associations are focusing on their realtor score rather than their NMSP score. So, to clarify, the compliance deadline is specifically based on the NMSP score and not your realtor score, which is why I have it X'd out on the screen. So from this dashboard, you can easily identify your delinquent NMSP records from two sections. Number one, under the NMSP score, there's a count next to delinquent. And then number two, you can view your delinquent agents by clicking the delinquent section. These are the two places where you can view the list of your delinquent non-members. And if you click on any one of those sections, it will display your delinquent non-members. And so from here, you can sort your list by DR and send out a communication to your brokers. You also want to focus on your NMSPs in the 30 to 16-day grace period and the NMSPs in the 15 to 1 day grace period. I always say the NMSPs in the grace period are the records that will always ruin a compliance celebration, because you can be at 100% today, and while we're celebrating and popping champagne bottles, tomorrow you can actually be below 97% because we were only focused on the delinquent record. So again, your goal is to focus on those agents in the delinquent section and those agents in the grace period that will be delinquent within the next 16 days. And so now you just want to get a communication out to your brokers regarding their delinquent NMSPs and the NMSPs in the grace period. And so in the communication that you send out to your brokers, you want to also include the options that are available to the broker when it comes to resolving their non-member agents. So let's talk about the options the brokers have when it comes to their NMSPs, because in order for the association to become compliant, the broker will need to determine how these non-member agents will be operating, right? And so in the communication that you send to your brokers, you will need to include a deadline for them to respond, and you'll need to include the options available to the broker. So the broker has four options. The broker can pay the non-member fee. The broker can remove the agent's license, which puts the agent's license in MBA status. The agent can join as a realtor member, or the broker can certify the agent as a LIFRO by signing the LIFRO certification form. Now, if the broker does not respond or take action by your deadline, then you want to send a final communication that says your membership will be inactivated on a date that the association chooses. Now, keep in mind, you never want to inactivate your brokers on a Friday. You don't ever want your brokers to go an entire weekend without being able to work, right? So you want to inactivate your brokers Monday through Thursday, but never on a Friday. So let's talk about the strategies we use to ensure your success leading up to each deadline. So there comes a time where we can't wait 24 hours for the system to update your NMSP score, right? So here's where we step in. If you have agents whose license status has changed to licensed MBA, but their records are still appearing on the BCT and impacting your score, please send us their name, and please send us an email, I'm sorry, with their name and their NERS ID number. And then we'll add them to the DRE exemption and update our records accordingly. And then the change will be reflected on the BCT the same day of the update. If you have members who have already paid their dues and have a 2025 financial record in M1, but later become inactive due to not completing their ethics requirements or any other membership requirements, please send us an email and we can add them to an exemption list. And the change will be reflected on the BCT the same day the update is made. If you have non-members who have a financial record in M1 but are still appearing as unpaid on the BCT, please let us know and we can add them to a temporary exemption list until the financial record has been fully processed on our end. And so your role in this process is to send us an email that includes the member's name and NERD's ID number. Our role is to ensure the records are updated so that the change is reflected on the BCT, and so that you can see the update with your NMSP score the same day. Now, before submitting any request to us, please make sure the agents qualify for the exemptions by completing the following steps. Number one, you want to confirm that the license status shows licensed MBA, or that the license date shows expired if the agent is being added to the DRE exemption. Number two, you want to confirm that the member has a financial record in M1 if the agent is being added to the paid exemption list. And so these are the steps that we'll take together to ensure that all associations are compliant by the deadline and that your records are reflected accurately on the BCT. So just a quick recap. Local associations should be focused on delinquent NMSPs and NMSPs in the grace period that will be delinquent within the next 16 days. If you have members or non-members that are eligible for an exemption, please send an email to me and to Sandra. And then last, you just want to avoid deactivating your brokers on a Friday. So, real quick, let's talk about the compliance procedures that we follow after each deadline has passed. So, we're going to take a snapshot of the NMSP scores on Friday, November 21st at 6 p.m. We will only use this snapshot if all associations are compliant. If all of the associations are not compliant, then the December 1st deadline will remain in effect and we'll take the snapshot at 6 p.m. on December 1st. Notifications regarding non-compliant AORs will be sent to the C.A.R. legal team on Monday, December 1st, followed by the leadership team on Tuesday, December 2nd. Notifications to non-compliant AORs, excuse me, will be sent out to the association executive and board president on or before Friday, December 12th, regarding a potential hearing at the upcoming business meetings in Monterey. Again, our objective is to achieve full compliance from all associations by November 21st. We're also working to prevent any hearings by ensuring that all associations are compliant by either November 21st or December 1st. So I am pleased to announce that our finance team will be hosting a pop-up training session on Friday, November 14th at 10 a.m. This session will focus on the e-commerce process and will address any recurring issues that need to be resolved prior to the start of the 2026 dues billing cycle on January 1st. The objective of this training session is to ensure that all associations clearly understand what payments need to be submitted through e-commerce, what payments should be sent to C.A.R., and they're also going to cover any additional information that is required to ensure compliance with the FPPC guidelines. This session will be recorded, and we strongly encourage everyone to attend this live session so that you can get your questions answered in real time. Sandra will be sharing the registration link in the chat, so please take advantage of that today by registering today so that you can be a part of that event, which is next Friday. All right, so that ends my session, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If you have any questions, we can get your questions answered now.
Eastman, can you do like a quick summary of what entails if someone has to go to a hearing?
Um, I, I don't have the full details. I just know that the associations will receive a communication from our legal department as well as from the leadership team. The association, the AE, and the board president will have a meeting with the leadership team at the business meetings. And at that meeting is really just the association explaining to the group why the association was not able to meet the compliance deadline. And then from there, there's a decision made on what takes place next. We did have an association that got called into a hearing at our last compliance deadline. We did everything that we could to make sure that they um, could meet compliance, but they just wasn't able to do it. And so I believe, yeah, so we did everything possible. And so the hearing is definitely, to be honest with you, it's something that you just never really want to experience. It's really the reason why we push so hard to make sure that the associations are compliant. I mean, we actually stay sometimes until 6:30 working with an association to make sure that they are compliant. It's To be honest with you, it is just a little embarrassing to be called into a hearing, and they also mention it at the board of directors meeting. They don't mention the association's name, but they do mention that an association was called into a hearing.
Good morning, Keisman. Jason Catalan of Contra Costa. Thank
Hey,
you,
Jason.
Sandra, for putting this on. We appreciate it. Two-part question. One,
Yes.
can you kindly go over the deadlines for 2026 in addition to speaking about any changes in how the NMSP score is calculated going forward?
Yes. So 2026, we still going to have three compliance deadlines. As you know, currently the deadlines is March 31st, August 31st, and December 1st. Starting in 2026, the first compliance deadline is now going to be April 30th. The August 31st deadline will remain in place, and the December 1st deadline will remain in place as well. Jason, we have not made any changes to how the NMSP score is calculated. We are still looking at that. I'm not sure if anything's going to change for 2026 yet, but don't hold me to that. It still could change. We are scheduled to have another um, membership meeting in December where we just go over what the associations can expect for 2026. As you know, starting in January, the BCT is usually reset. And so I do like to make sure that I'm able to give you a date on when you can expect that to happen so that you're not caught off guard when you come in sometime in January and you see that your scores have dropped. And so we are going to have a meeting in December, probably the middle of December. We don't have a date yet, but also want to make sure finance is part of that. And then, as you know, we are also doing another training session in Monterey. I know everybody is not able to attend that, but it's a live training session in Monterey. I believe we have 2 hours to present it. So that's usually just me and Sandra presenting, and we're just talking everything membership. And so those are the next training sessions that we have coming up. Hopefully, I will have an answer to whether or not we're going to make any changes to the how the NMSP score is calculated. We did run some scenarios through Chat GPT, and it came back with some great information. So we just need to sit down with legal, our finance team, to find out what's the best possible scenario for all of the associations.
Cool. Thank you, Keisman.
Yep, you got it. Any other questions?
Hi. All right. So I'm only like 3 weeks into this position. So
Hi, Katie.
hi, very lost.
Okay.
Is there somewhere that I can look to find like a reference on exactly what it is I'm supposed to be doing as far as this goes?
Absolutely. Actually, I'm going to be your reference.
Oh, okay.
Let's you and I set up a separate Zoom.
Okay.
And then that way we can just, cover everything from A to Z, and then you can get all of your questions answered. Because I do want to make sure that you're able to meet this upcoming compliance deadline.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Keisman. This is Rick in Palos Verdes. I'm actually in the same boat as
Hey, Rick.
since Joanna is no longer with us. So I need the same type of training and information as Katie.
Got it. Okay. I will make sure that I connect with both of you after this session is over, and then we can go ahead and get you guys going. Yeah, we're definitely here to support you.
I just wanted to share that goes for everyone. If you just need to schedule a Zoom with us, we can just, let us know your dates, the times that you're available, and we'll try to get in contact with you. That way we can do a training with you. For 2026, we're actually working on having at least once a month a couple of open appointments. We'll share those dates with you. That way, if you just want to do like a quick, it should be like 30 minutes or less, you can just schedule an appointment with us, and then that way we can answer any questions throughout the year, not just on the BCT itself, but like if you have any other questions about like membership and data and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I saw a question come through in the chat.
Yes, it says, what do we do if one of our members retires after billing goes out?
That's a great question. I guess my follow-up question to that is, did the member pay dues for 2026 and then decided to retire, or are they just retiring and their license is still hanging with the broker? Oh, there she is. Hi, Diana.
Hi, Casement. I have a number of members who are contemplating retiring, and I don't know whether to take them out now or to go ahead and do billing, to include them in billing. So I wasn't sure which way would be the best to handle it.
Yeah, I would say if they're contemplating, I would still invoice them, and at that point they can decide if they're going to renew or not. And so going into 2026, if they decide to retire and their license is still hanging with the broker and you inactivate them, it just means that we'll just need to add them to a temporary exemption list so that they're not impacting your NMSP score until the broker removes the agent from their license.
Okay, I'll do that then. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other questions? So don't forget, next Friday, our finance team is going to be presenting. I know it said in the Zoom that it's going to be an hour, but it's a pop-up session, training session, and so I'm saying it's probably going to last maybe about 30 minutes. It may not even be that long. Just depends on the number of questions that the finance team gets. But I think it would be good for everyone to attend that session. It won't be an hour for sure. Almost kind of like our training session. It's only 10:24. We've only been on here for 24 minutes, so be the same exact thing.
Thank you, Keesman and Sandra, for all your support of the local associations in the state. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason.
You got it,
Appreciate
brother.
you. All right, I'm not going to hold you guys. We all have a lot to do today. So I just want to say thank you for joining us today. Hopefully we will see you again next Friday. If we don't see you on Friday, then we'll see you again in mid-December for the membership training session, where you'll also get our finance team who will be presenting at that session as well. And then we'll also be in Monterey. So hopefully there will be some of you that will be able to attend that as well, so that we can fill up the room. I would love to see you guys in person. I know there's a cost, a price to pay going to those meetings. So I know sometimes we all just can't make it, but hopefully one day we all get to see each other in person. So again, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If there's anything that you need from us after this session is over, please send us an email and we'll do our best to get right back to you. I will be reaching out to Katie and Rick, and we will get something set up for you today. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.